courageous women that make crooked politicians tremble in fear. It has been an absolute honor and a privilege to be the founding chair of the Oklahoma Freedom Caucus. And my good friends, former state representative Charles Key asked me if it was the Freedom Caucus who was giving money against me in my campaign when I was telling you the story. No, I was that Freedom Caucus chairman who was being attacked for being a liberal. So I want to make it very clear. And the focus of Freedom Caucus is making sure that there's actionable intelligence for grassroots conservative voters like you, so that you can decide whether you want to retain or remove your elected officials because they do not share your values. Holding them accountable on the Senate floor and the House floor, making sure that they are forced to show you who they really are, is the purpose of Freedom Caucus. It is my distinct honor to not only serve with one of the intrepid members of the House who is also a Freedom Caucus member. Our next speaker represents Oklahoma 33rd District, and that's Logan in Payne County. She holds a bachelor's degree from, I heard you, a bachelor's degree from Oklahoma State University and a master's degree from the University of Central Oklahoma. Before her political career, she taught middle school, and that's why she's not afraid of these politicians. She was an adjunct professor for over a decade and then owned a real estate brokerage. She understands small business. She was elected in 2024 to the 60th legislature, and Representative Jenkins was vice chair of the Administrative Rules Committee in her first session. She will be vice chair of the Tourism Committee in the second session and serves on the Appropriations and Budget Judiciary Subcommittee, Common Education and Elections, and the Ethics Committee. Her priorities include protecting life, defending the Second Amendment, ensuring education is appropriate, shielding children from harmful ideologies, and promoting government transparency. She represents her constituents with common sense and integrity. Molly and her husband lived on a 70-acre homestead near Coyle where they raised cattle. She is the mother of 2 children, a daughter and a son who passed away. Molly has 2 grandsons who are a source of immeasurable joy for their family. And she is a solid warrior for Oklahoma, for conservative values, and for the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Please welcome Representative Molly Jenkins.
I didn't even have to pay him. Good afternoon. I am Molly Jenkins, and I don't take a penny of lobbyist money. I'm also a rancher, and I have great concerns for our countryside. Let me start with something simple. If Oklahoma already produces 3 times more energy than we use, why are corporations trying so hard to industrialize even more of our ranch and farmland? That's the real question. Because the truth is, this is not a fight about keeping the lights on, and it's certainly not about an energy shortage. It is about who controls our land. Because who controls the land is who makes all the money. And that's why so many of you are here today. You've shown up. You've testified in interim studies. You've written emails to your legislators. You've made telephone calls. You've literally cried out to God in prayer. Yet the bills meant to protect Oklahoma landowners haven't even been given a hearing. And it's time for us to be honest about the reason why. We're not just fighting wind, the wind turbines. We're fighting an industry with billions of dollars and a very political lobby. Investigative reporting recently showed us that a solar developer, NextEra, is building a project in Oklahoma. They were supposed to pay $2.5 million in state permit fees. They asked the state to reduce that fee to a mere $15,000. In the end, the fee was reduced to $500,000. Still, that's roughly $2 million wiped away. Now ask yourself something. When was the last time a farmer in Oklahoma got to knock $2 million off of a bill? When was the last time a rancher got to rewrite the rules in their favor? But that's what happens when companies show up from out of state with lawyers, lobbyists, and political money. Since 2015, NextEra alone has given more than $865,000 to Oklahoma political campaigns. Records show money going to political committees and events including $50,000 to Oklahoma Inaugural Incorporated, $25,000 to the Majority Fund, and $10,000 to our very own Governor Stitt. And then there are the large contributions to many, many legislators. And it should come, as absolutely no surprise to you that these are the very same legislators who are refusing to hear our bills. They're bought and they're paid for. Think about that. While rural Oklahomans are begging lawmakers to just hear their bills, corporate lobbyists are writing checks as large as $50,000 for political events. In fact, one such event that NextEra donated $50,000 to is the Speaker's Ball. Every year, politicians, lobbyists, and corporate sponsors all dress up in their finest, their tuxedos and fancy dresses to dance the night away with extravagant food and drinks. Let me say that again. NextEra gave $50,000 to the Speaker's Ball. That's more than many Oklahoma families make in an entire year. While they dance the night away in the ballroom, we fight for another day without industrialized eyesores on the horizon. Give me my cowboy boots under the Oklahoma sky in my own pasture with no wind turbines on the horizon over a Speaker's Ball any day. I've never attended, and I doubt very seriously that I ever will. Let them dance at the Speaker's Ball. They can have it. But the land? This is our land. We've heard it said that this is God's land, and I guess that is more true. This is God's land. But we're called to be good stewards of it, and we're going to have to fight if we're going to keep it under local control. I have a bigger concern also, the fact that the influence doesn't stop inside. When the lobbyists cannot get their way quietly at the Capitol, they take the fight straight into our communities. And that's exactly what is happening right now. While we are fighting for your land here at the Capitol, dark money groups out of the suburbs of Washington, D.C. are attacking grassroots candidates with mailers claiming that we don't respect property rights.
Liars.
Think about that. Farmers, ranchers, families who have worked and cared for this land for generations being lectured about property rights by political operatives sitting in D.C. suburbs. People who have never worked this land, never raised cattle on it, and never had to defend it. People who have never stood on Oklahoma soil are trying to tell Oklahomans what to do with Oklahoma land. These lobbyists do not care about you, and they certainly do not care about the grassroots candidates that fight and represent you. They will lie to make sure our opponents are elected, fill their bellies with steak and wine, fill up their campaign accounts, and then laugh while we strive to make a difference for the people who elected us. And this is where you come in. You've done so much already, and we're so grateful. You've shown up, you've done all the things that we've asked, but we're asking you to never, never give up. The farmers and ranchers in Oklahoma may not have lobbyists, but today we have something way better. We have each other. So before you go, I'm going to ask you to do even more. If the other side is going to flood our communities with dark money mailers from Washington, D.C., then we're going to have to fight back, and we're going to have to do it the Oklahoma way. I need you to go and talk to your neighbors. Everyone here should find at least two new people to bring to the poll. And don't just find them and talk to them. Make sure they get there. Make sure they vote to protect their land. If you can afford it, help pay for a mailer that states the truth about the grassroots candidates from your district. We're not going to let these corporations win simply because they have more money. This is our land. This is our state. And together, we will make sure that the people of Oklahoma still decide what happens on Oklahoma soil. We have been commanded to be strong and courageous. Let's do that. God save our land, God bless Oklahoma, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Representative Molly Jenkins.